Brett Pasche is the junior linebacker for the Hillsdale College Chargers. Brett, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Just getting ready for another big week. Going to Ferris this week, so just beat Grand Valley, and it'll be another good one for us.
Brett, through all your years of playing sports and in classes and stuff, how many different pronunciations of your last name have been announced?
I wish I could tell you. I've probably had a different one for every place I've gone to so far. So.
Well, we're glad that you're at Hillsdale. I noticed that you went to high school down in Findlay, Ohio, which is another GLIAC town. How did you escape the Oilers and end up at Hillsdale?
Well, the coach got to me early. Came in and talked to me at a camp over the summer, and I actually drove here once on my way back from visiting some family up north, and drove through it during the night, and thought I would never end up here, and then came again for the official visit and fell in love with the place, and there was nowhere else I wanted to be.
You say you fell in love with the place, so could you tell me one thing in particular or specifically that attracted you to Hillsdale College?
If I had to pick one thing, it would probably be the coaches. Just being around them, they're great guys, and I know I'm always going to get the truth from them, and they've always got me in mind. So that was definitely a big thing for me.
Yeah, Brett Pasche, the junior linebacker for Hillsdale College, talking with us. So you talk about the coaches. John Lindley is one of the most intense position coaches that I've ever seen. I've had a cool opportunity to go to some of your practices and watch that guy work in individual session. Brett, that's some intense coaching right there that you get from Lindley, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I've had my share of good coaches just in all the sports I've played, but he is by far the most intense one I've had so far. But it's just amazing how practicing with him and individual before the games with him can prepare you so much better, and just nothing's really going to surprise you when you go through a practice at the kind of pace and the kind of intensity that we go through.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the offensive guys about your individual drill, and a couple of them kind of shared with me off the record that they were glad that they didn't have to go through what you guys have to go through at practice. I mean, you do your individual stuff before you go to team, and you guys go through a really physical, intense practice before you even get to the team. But, I talked to a couple of other linebackers, and you feel like it helps you prepare, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and try and say that I enjoy every minute of it while I'm doing it, but when you get done, it's a good feeling to know that you've put in the work and that no one's out there outworking you.
The proof is in the numbers. Last year, first team all GLIAC choice. I finished second on the team with 91 tackles, led the GLIAC regular season with 15 tackles for a loss. Talk a little bit about your sophomore year when you really came into your own and became a starter and made that first team all GLIAC team.
Yeah, freshman year I came in and it was a little overwhelming. Didn't really go the way I wanted, and spring ball that year it definitely helped slow the game down for me. And so I felt pretty good coming into camp that sophomore year, and I'm definitely not saying I was necessarily expecting to have the season I had. I prepared like I would and absolutely wanted to, but it just the game slowed down so much from that between the freshman and sophomore year, and I started to be able to read things better, see plays, and just get to know the guys around me better and get comfortable playing with them, and just the trust that we have with everybody on the team helps to make individual plays that much more easy to fly around and just do what you see and follow the ball and know that other guys are going to be there to back you up always.
And the great thing about your season last year too, and I think one of the things that stands out about your career is you show up for the big games. 10 solo tackles last year against Wayne State. You had an interception last year against Grand Valley. When those big games came around, number 40 was going to be right in the middle of it. Is that something you take pride in when the team really needs you in those big games to step up and be a leader?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, I think that kind of goes back to, the way we prepare and practice with Coach Lindley. And, it's not always going to be first drive, second drive that every play is going to be made. But if we can hang in there like we do every day at practice and stay in there in the fourth quarter and we're still locked in and ready, it's just when they're starting to get tired, we're still feeling good, and you can make big plays then.
You mentioned your teammates, and in particular, Montgomery on either side of you. You three started together as sophomores. You're starting together again as juniors. What about that, playing with those two other guys each and every day and developing that chemistry in that linebacking core?
Yeah, that's been huge for us. We've got all kinds of trust in each other, and we're not necessarily making just calls to random guys. We're calling people by name, telling them what's going on, and if somebody's coming out to them, somebody's coming into me, and we just always know where the other guy. Having that trust, you can't replace that.
Yeah, and you play together like it. Brett Pasche is leading the team this year in tackles, 51 tackles on the year to lead the Hillsdale Chargers. A couple of sacks. You lead the team in tackles for a loss and yards for a loss. You even have 2 picks this year, Brett. Linebackers don't always get in a position to get a lot of interceptions, but you've gotten your share of those in your career, haven't you?
Yeah, I kind of joke around with the other guys that some of those kind of just fallen in my lap, but, I just try and see what's going on and, read the quarterback, and I have gotten a little lucky sometimes, an overthrown ball here or, missed a guy here, and I've been there, but yeah, that's been real good.
You look at the season so far, and I guess the 4 straight wins in the middle of those 2 losses, the loss at Cal PA and the loss at Wayne State. Let's talk about the Wayne State game for a minute, because that was a game where you guys were right there until the very end, and that's been kind of the hallmark in your 2 losses, playing on the road against really tough teams. You guys have been right there at the last snap in those ball games. What was the difference you felt from your standpoint Saturday in that Wayne State game?
I think definitely turnovers. We talk a lot on the defensive side about it doesn't necessarily matter if our offense is turning the ball over, but if we get turnovers, then they're not going to score. And our offense got a couple of tough turnovers, and we got 1 fumble recovery and a couple of 4th down stops. We weren't really able to get enough turnovers to make up for all the other little things that happen out throughout the game. So we got to work on that, taking the ball away, and catching balls if we got a chance to get a pick, stuff like that.
What was the mood of the team following that game? I mean, your slogan this year is unfinished business, leave no doubt. Now with the 2 losses, it gets tough. I know you guys just take it 1 week at a time, but is this a situation where you guys have already bounced back from that loss and are looking forward to the next game, or is there a little hangover from that Wayne State game?
We're always going to be disappointed about a loss, but I think we've come back strong, and we know that those are in the past now. We can't really control that, but all we got to do is work hard every week. This week especially, just come out and our goals aren't out the window. It's not like we've got nothing to play for now, so we're still hanging in there strong.
And the last thing I wanted to ask you about was your game at Ferris State, going to another GLIAC foe at Ferris, 2 o'clock on Saturday. As you started to work on the game plan for the week, what can you tell our listeners about your approach as a defense to what Ferris brings to the table offensively?
Yeah, we've been looking at them all week so far, and it's definitely a little bit of a different offense. their quarterback runs a lot more than we've seen in the week so far. But we're still going to play gap sound defense. Everybody's got a certain responsibility. A lot of it's going to be one-on-one. If we beat this guy, we're going to make a play. And if not, then there's an opportunity there. But we've got confidence in all our guys that they can do their job. And if everybody does that, then we should be all right.
Well, we love watching number 40 out there, part of that awesome junior linebacker trio, Brett Pasche leading the team in tackles and leading his team into Ferris State on Saturday. Best of luck up in Big Rapids.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.